Hey, this is Roger from Performancenter. You guys are going to get to see a mashup I did with Koss, our Russian friend. I hope you like it. Enjoy it. I'm going to try to do some more of these, so check back on us. Thanks.
Staring at me like, иди на место, сказал, дома, быстро, блядь, на место.
All right. We're going to start it up here. I guess that was a great intro. We don't even need to. This is something new that I wanted to put together, and I've been trying to figure out who my first guest was, and I have a lot of interesting guests. This guy we call the Mad Russian. Many of you probably won't know him. He's got an unbelievably interesting story. He lives a life about racing that I think many of us will not even understand because we've never even thought about it that way. But without further ado, I'm going to let him introduce himself to you. This is our friend Koss. We call him the Mad Russian. Welcome.
Thank you for having me here, and hi everybody. My full name is Kosma Koss, but it sounds like a gibberish, so everybody call me Koss. And yeah, I'm from Moscow, from Russia. Now I'm living here.
Tell people you're racing at Hickory and Limited. You came over. Tell us about your backstory a little bit.
So the backstory, you talking about backstory with the racing? Or?
Yeah, like how many years ago you came over here, what you did, what you've been doing, and then we can get deeper back into things you've done.
To begin with, how I get here, we used to have a business, the limo business. We was cutting the cars in half and build the limos in Springfield, Missouri. And then after everything take a dive in 2008, the luxury segment was dying first in the businesses. So we kind of slowed down and everything. But the NASCAR was a big dream on my own for all my life. Let's say that because I have racing experience, the road course, and
Sure.
and the go karts in Russia, right? And then I read a lot about NASCAR on early 90s when I was a kid, and I was like, hell, I gotta do it. I want to do it. I want to get there. And when the racing was racing, flying wheels and all this stuff.
You just threw it all to the wind, all the caution to the wind, and just came over here.
When I have an opportunity to come over here and try to dig for NASCAR, I did.
You did?
The first time was my attempt to get it in 2006 or 7. I was, when you get on a plane with a suitcase, you're trying to find somebody who's going to help you with the racing, and you don't know anybody.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody loves the NASCAR in the United States, but not too many people actually knows the inside and where to go when you just enter the country.
Yes.
Basically, when you're on your own, how I was. So it take me about 3 years to meet somebody from Toledo, Ohio, who was tied up with ARCA teams.
That's funny because I'm from just outside of Toledo, Ohio.
I'm not brown. So, and then they just give me a heads up where to go, what to do, and where to start because when you just come over here, hi, I'm from Russia.
Right, you didn't know anybody.
And I like to race cars. And, all right, good
Sure.
luck with that,
Sure.
That's how it was. So basically, I meet a few people. They done an introduction mail for me, like a big piece where I can unroll. Oh, sorry, unroll and sorry.
It's all right.
And show somebody what I come for, what I want to do and stuff. So the first problem I have the communication. It was very hard to communicate. My English was it not that good right now, but it was just terrible back then, right?
So we have a language barrier.
First of all,
sure,
yeah, because the Russian and English, 100% different.
Mm-hmm.
Even how you build the conversation, even how the short phrases going, it's basically backwards.
Understand?
If you ask somebody like, "Can I go?" in Russian is going to be
totally different.
Yeah, 180% backwards.
Okay.
I can go, but if I will say, "You on my way," and you're gonna ask me in English, "Can I go?" and I will say, "I can go," and it's gonna be right for me, but for you, it's gonna be rude.
Backwards. Yeah, I understand. Sure. So communication, which is right. That's one of the biggest things that we hear all crew chiefs and drivers talk about is, on Sundays, on different things, our communication is great, and that's something that you're starting already behind on. You know what I mean?
And many people don't realize
Yeah, I wouldn't have
how
thought
hard
about it.
and
Yeah,
fundamental it is for me to understand, especially on radio when you talk to crew chief.
especially slang terms.
Yes, but I have good experience later on with the slang. I used to live in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia,
Uh-huh.
and I work in the bad areas. I used to drive ambulance for a while.
Yeah,
So yeah, and I work with the black guys a lot.
yeah.
And they teach me a lot of stuff. So it's
Interesting.
not the bad words I'm talking
Right,
about,
sure.
just the way they talk about
Sure.
and stuff. You know, I'm start getting a little bit more clear the sounds what you actually eating. By the way, you know, like and you start understand actually.
I understand.
Big mess.
So you get here, you know nobody. I guess you have a few friends, right? Like a couple people that you had communicated with.
Yeah, I meet somebody it's a long story out there in
Sure.
Philadelphia. I meet the Russian girl and I got married and everything. It's not worked out too well, but
So let's fast forward to when you moved here because you want to race.
yes, it was 2012. First.
2012.
Yeah,
And where did you go?
Hickory.
Hickory.
Yeah, I started digging for the sponsorship in Moscow, so somebody helped me out to get what I want to. So nobody want to deal with me because of short budget
Short budget.
or just don't know who I am and what I want to do. People just they want right now and right here. Nobody's seeing a big picture
Sure, sure.
on that level what I was back then. So
How much were you trying to raise?
I just tried to do tests.
So you just tried to raise enough money to do tests.
Yeah.
Which
So,
was how much then?
some people ask me about $10,000. Some give me $5,000, but 20,000 crash course,
So
and I can't blame them.
so it was. Say it one more time, just so people are clear. Your initial numbers that you were given, right? A guy that comes over here wants to test, doesn't know Billy from Johnny from Eddie from anything. He jumps into it, and they tell him it's how much to test.
Okay, I'm gonna bring the car to Hickory Motor Speedway. You're gonna have session about 50 laps.
Mhm.
You're gonna pay me $5,000 for
Five
it,
5,000.
and from $5,000 to $20,000.
Was this late model or limited or what? Truck or what?
Arca, it was Arca car.
Arc. Okay.
Yeah.
Pull the mic closer to you. Just grab it right here and pull it closer to you.
Right.
Yeah, a little more if you can.
So
There you go. Perfect.
And then the crash deposit was from $5,000 to 20. It's all different people, different cars.
Yes.
So when you don't know anybody, and you don't have much experience at all, I mean, to find anybody, you don't know where to go. Now I know how to find the teams and people. So right, back then it was going to be. I will say it like it is. I find Chris Lafferty.
Okay.
I mean, in my understanding, not everybody liked the guy here in Hickory or around here. I don't know for some reason, but I can't say anything bad about him.
He's helped you.
Yeah, he done everything what he said.
Nice.
And, he's actually launched me up basically for the my Russian side.
Really?
Yeah, he gave me a very fair price. He brought the old Arca car to Hickory Motor Speedway. It was April 12, 2012. And he brought that old car. I don't remember how much I paid. It wasn't too much. So we ran. I was like 18 seconds, 17 seconds on this heavy car,
Nice.
and it was first time in my life I got in a stock car myself, and I was balling in this car for my tears. I'm choking right now.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm doing it. I spent so many years and money just to get here to try it, and I'm here in a race car. We don't have any money. My friend come with me from Pennsylvania. We took the camera from the Walmart.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we bought the camera
Right.
from Walmart.
Yeah, I was hoping you didn't steal it.
No, we bought the camera, but we have not enough money, so we bought the camera and we returned it back same day because just like we don't like the camera, but
Right.
we got the material like photos and videos. So the Chris Lafferty done little interview with me, and it helped me a lot in Russia. Later on, I still have it, and then another people. I mean, and with the Chris, we finish on this in this part, and I was trying to find some more funds and launch myself into late model racing or limited late model. and we just about to get that first sponsorship for 5 races. I think it was like $40,000 or $50,000 or
That's
something
amazing.
like something like this.
Yeah.
And the situation, Russia and the United States, with the big political game, went not too good. So a lot of people was telling me, "We're glad you are there, and we really want to help you, but we don't know if it's gonna affect our brand
Where it
in
stands.
in the right way,
Interesting.
because we sending money to the United States, helping the Russian guy out there who racing out there. It's like mentality, you know."
Yeah, sure.
So
Sure, I
everything
could see that being a completely different way of. I wouldn't even
everything
have thought about it.
everything burned. So it was quiet for a year or two, and then Mike Falk and Lee Falk,
Yes.
these two guys
Yes.
who was out there for me too, and they was helping me for real. Thank you very much, Mike, and I know he might be seeing that, so they helping me back then. I have one friend who I meet here in Hickory, Chris Huffman.
Chris Huffman. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually got 100% of what I'm here.
Yeah.
Why I'm here.
Yeah.
This is him.
Awesome.
So he's a nice guy, nice friend, and cop, by the way. So
Yeah.
I can't say
Yeah.
a thing about it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm still driving around here.
I agree.
So yeah, it's him, and he meet me with the Mike Falk actually. So I was living in Florida back then. I bought the boat, so it's another bucket list mark. Was the boat I was dreaming about sailboats. So
Right.
I got the boat. And
This is an interesting guy. I mean, he was showing me earlier some pictures of
thank you.
limousines that he's cut in half and shipped across the country and back. And but
Across the ocean.
yeah, that's right. Let's get back to racing just a little though, and I want to bring the fact of just some of your sacrifice that you've gone through, and I don't want to touch on it bad because I don't like to do bad things, but I want people to understand some of the grind that you've put
This is why-
through, right?
this
Like
is
how
why-
long, and some of the sacrifice that you've had with not only your family but financial bases or being divided across areas and what.
Roger, this is why I come to Mike Falk. I was living in Florida back then.
Yes,
And just
they're from Florida. Yeah,
just to talk to him, I have a little Delso.
yeah.
So I jump in my Delso and drive overnight to be
Yeah.
here in Concord. They wasn't Concord back then.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, it was 2014 or 13 yet, and he done a lot for me. He done interview. I was in their shop. We was introducing myself. I mean, he introduced me for the Russian sponsors, and we actually almost got the contract with the Russian vodka Putinka.
really.
Yeah, and then Ukraine come up on a political thing, you know, and
It's amazing how much politics plays in your role, right?
huge.
Because it's
It's just the wrong time,
Right.
all the time. So, and then we almost got the season with Lee and Mike Falk, and the guys bail out just a week to do before they supposed to do wire, and it dropped me down completely. I was like devastated.
sure.
So, in this time, I thought that's it. That's it. We're done with racing. I'm 34 years old. How long it's gonna take, I don't know. That's it. I'm done.
Right.
So I got my CDL and I'm start rolling in the country.
Start hustling again.
Yeah. So you're driving a semi, and you just inside somewhere outside, you know,
Right.
in the middle of nowhere, and you see the NASCAR trucks going by. It's like,
Right. How do I get there
yeah, never leave my head that idea of to get in.
to get in?
Yes. So I've been hustling for 5 years. 5 years. Yeah. In Mike was 2013. I was hustling for 5 years. Wake up and go back
Driving
to sleep.
truck.
Yep, in the truck, thinking about how to get in.
Racing at that time or not really?
Nothing.
Not really. No racing.
Never even seen
Just
the car.
5 years of driving truck as hard as
Yeah.
you can to
Yeah.
save as much money as you
Yeah.
can.
So I meet my significant other,
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
And she helped me a lot with that stuff.
It's amazing how that happens, huh?
Yeah, and we bought the house in Texas. We bought the house, and I was thinking, sitting in my backyard and shooting just
Guns.
guns.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like I got everything what I want,
Nice.
but racing.
About racing.
So I grabbed the phone. I called Chris Huffman. Said, "Dude, I want to come back." He said, "I was waiting this call for them too long."
Right.
So I started looking for the car. I still was limited with money. It was all my money. So happened to see on one of the websites.
We're still building things back here. Don't worry, nothing's nothing. We just can't shut performance down for
For
performance
the
center
Russian.
down for the
For
Russian.
the Russian. So I found the truck, the super truck, and it happened to be one of the guys live here, Ricky's Danish truck.
Oh, okay.
And I called him. I said, Chris, do you know this truck? He said, yeah, I know this truck. My brother have to run with this guy. They have
Sure,
sometimes.
sure.
So I said, all right, call him and tell him I will buy it. So months later, I bought the truck.
Nice. So Chris and Alan Huffman helped you also.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Good
This
people,
was the
right?
first-
Like
yeah,
super good people.
Yeah, super good guys. They busy with themselves. I'm sorry they cannot help me with what I need right now.
Right.
Love to have them, but
Well, they seem to be. He's busy, right? Flying all over the country and doing all over. And the other one's
Yeah,
the
he's
policeman,
racing
and he
himself.
tries,
Yeah, so,
right?
yeah,
I know he
it's-
tries to work on his own stuff a lot, and
Yeah.
they're just busy.
but still appreciation for these guys, to these guys and back again. You
So-
know?
Okay, so we're racing limited. We're shooting for Rookie of the Year. Excuse
So
me.
the truck, back
Oh,
to
okay,
the truck.
yeah.
So I ran the truck the first time, have nothing, no experience at all,
Mhm.
and I was practicing before race, and I hit the truck. I hit it. I would just put the body on it.
You crashed.
I crashed on
Okay.
the front stretch.
At Hickory.
I hit it on the practice before race.
Okay.
So I was, it's it, it's done. My mom come from Moscow to see me, first time. So, and I'm done. We're done racing because I hit the truck and I'm sitting in the trailer and I'm pulling my hair out, rest of my hair out. So Chris said, "Come on, man, I see the worst." So they take the solo and they cut the stuff out of it.
Right.
So I have motor, radiator, 2 wheels, and I'm going.
You're going again.
Yeah. So I finished that first time. I got left. I finished, and I was choking.
Yeah. Carbon monoxide or what?
No, just you done it.
Emotion.
Yeah, emotion.
Awesome. I wanted to
So-
make sure. That's
Oh,
why I
man,
went with
yeah.
carbon monoxide because I didn't know what else to say.
I have a blower in my helmet.
Yeah, good, good,
That
good.
helmet what I bought in 2012 still on me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was good helmet, $1,500.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird we dictate if a helmet's good by what it costs?
No, it's cost me a lot.
I know,
it
but I'm
was good.
saying, isn't that weird that we dictate that but it's good because it costs a lot? I think that's
No,
weird.
it's good because it's lightweight. It's carbon fiber.
What kind
This
is it?
the, Impact.
Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like their stuff. They used to have a place down in Mooresville. Do they still? I think they still do.
I think Impact partially owned by Sparco right now.
Oh, it could
Something
be.
like it.
All the conglomerations end up getting together. So you win. Do you win?
My race, yeah.
Yeah,
For myself.
For
yeah.
yourself. That's
And
what matters.
then I decided to do it again. September 8th, 2018, and I crashed that truck so hard. Knocked the stuff out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually spin on 2, spun out, hit the wall backwards, spun out again, knocked the front clip off, and up on 4 through the grass,
Mhm.
knocked the fencing out and everything. It was good. I don't know where I'm at, so I was devastated again. But at least I was doing what I wanted.
Sure, what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I pushed that truck with the guys inside the trailer, same day, hook it up, and I went back to Texas. So,
Wow.
yeah, and I talked to Chris. He said, man, I'm going to be busy for next year, and we have one more race left in Myrtle Beach. I said, dude, I will help you out. I will stop everything what I'm doing.
Right, whatever I need to do.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Myrtle Beach with you, and we're going to, team up and help you out with it. So we basically was October last year. I come back home, park the truck, jump in my pickup, and I drove all the way to South Carolina just to help my guys because they're my friends.
Sure.
Only once
Sure.
back then. So Chris actually got hurt this time. He got last 4 corner, got out of it and got in an accident just before the race finished, and he totaled his car.
Oof.
So I feel sorry for him so much. Say, dude, I'm gonna give you my truck so we can sell it and have some money for it.
Something.
To fix that thing. I did. I gave my truck away, and it was heat, but it got everything on it. And I gave him my truck so he can fix it. And fix it or sell it. And
So you gave him your truck.
yeah, I pulled the motor out of it, and I gave him a roller because I need the motor for future. So
It's amazing.
yeah, I gave my truck away, and I said it was December. I was working a truck again. I was in Wyoming, somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
So you were driving truck.
again.
Still have your house in Texas or no?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm driving a truck, and I called Chris and I said, you know what I'm thinking? I don't know how it's gonna be, but I feel if the God let me be here for that reason, it's not gonna be end of story. He said, dude, I don't have any money. My car is broken. I'm done, and I probably will not race next year. And I said, dude, I will find money. I will find money, and I don't know how, but I have faith and feel for it. So all of a sudden it happens. I went to Moscow after 6 years. I wasn't in Moscow for 6 years. I went to Moscow and happened I meet my friends and they just jump on board.
Did you know these people before?
Yeah, I grew up with them.
Awesome. Tell me
Right.
how it went down.
Oh,
Had you been contacting them and
No.
trying to do
there's
things?
some people I wasn't see for 20 years.
20 years.
Never asked them help on anything. And back then, nobody was in place to help. It was just same guys as me. And my friend, you said, it's not enough chocolate for everybody. You know,
Yeah.
somebody got chocolate, somebody no. I wasn't guy. I was guy who have no chocolate,
Right.
but they are actually deep.
I understand.
So, and they just turn up on one of my friends' meeting this January and say, what's up? I said, this is opportunity for me. I can drive a limited late model and I can buy the car. And they said, how much you need? I said, that much. They said, oh, we're going to give you that much.
Nice.
And it's just like it happened. You know, I come back and I have some car to see, you know, to look for before I went to Moscow, just potentially to buy.
Sure.
And I did. And come back here in February and start working on it
This year.
this year. So the car what I have right now, we was fixing it very quick. I bought the car in February.
What year car is it? Just so that we give people perspective.
It's 2013.
2013, okay?
It's LTO
Okay.
and a front clip hatchback.
Okay.
17, I think it is.
Uh-huh.
And or 16 or whatever. I don't remember,
Sure.
but something like this.
Cool.
So it was pretty decent body.
I just wanted people to know that you didn't go out and buy some brand new ride.
No.
Right.
It was a used car, but
Sure.
in good condition.
Good condition. Yep.
Yeah, and my motor was a little bit worn out, so we decided to change the block. A little bit money into this, so I waste a lot of money what wasn't planned to begin with. So we kind of shortened budget still, but we make the car.
Typical racing deal, right? Like
Yeah,
always,
okay,
something
everybody
comes up.
hustle, right?
Everybody
Welcome
has
to the
something.
club.
Yeah, there you go.
So and I was on track twice before, 3 times. One practice 2012 and 2 races in 2018.
So it took you 6 years to get back here.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because also you have to, I mean, you living your life, but living your life and dreaming about something, but you cannot be that stupid just to put everything on it, because if you not get there, dream you just zero, right? So
I
you have to buy
understand.
a house, you know, also have kids and stuff. You know?
Sure.
So doing something else, but always keep it here, the
Yeah.
racing stuff. So it took me 6 years to get where I'm at right now, and I'm here in March, in February. It's cold. I arranged the house, not the house, the room. Everybody have a rent goes January, February for the year. And when I was out working, I arranged I don't want to rent a place because it's like $1,000 a month, and I just can't afford for a whole season.
Sure.
So I arranged $400 a room here in Hickory.
So you rented a room from someone
$400
for $100 or $400. $400.
Yep. And I got my trailer, my truck, and I come over here, and the guy said, I parked in the Pilot gas station, exit 133 here.
So you parked the racing rig at the Pilot gas station. No shop.
No shop.
No shop.
And I went to the guy who offered me a room, and he said, sorry, dude, I changed my mind.
So you found a room.
Yeah.
And so you found a room.
And I come back. I come over to Hickory. I dropped the trailer and I drove to the guy. And he said, sorry, I changed my mind. So it's like, welcome to North Carolina, you know.
So you got your race car at the Flying J or at the truck stop.
At the truck stop.
You think you got a room rented.
Yep.
You get there and the guy's like, no room.
Yeah, no room.
All right, so you got no place to live. Now what?
Yeah, the Chris offered me the place to live.
Chris, one of the racing guys.
Yeah, the Chris
Awesome.
And he's like, you can stay with me too.
Sure.
You know, and I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not taking the initiative. I can't just, can't
Did
get
you stay with him?
No.
No.
I said, you help me so much. I just
Sure.
can't be like right here on
Sure.
me, So
That's prideful. I appreciate that.
yeah, it's a lot of good people here.
There is.
If you don't know.
Right. I mean, I think this is
But
actually
I
how it
never
works.
took the opportunity to stay with anybody. I'm just staying by myself. So I spent about 2 weeks in my Dodge.
In your Dodge
Yeah,
car.
but the thing is, in the truck.
In the truck. I just want to be clear about this.
It's 2-seater.
2-seater.
It's short cab, flatbed.
It's a Dodge
2000.
work truck
Yeah.
with a utility bed on the back. Yeah.
So
I don't think we all have it that bad. He's sleeping in his truck.
yeah,
Continue.
But people
Was sleeping in his truck.
But people think like, oh, you sleeping in a truck, like you pig, you
Oh yeah,
bottom
like you're
feeder.
disgusting.
No,
Doesn't
you
work
got
there.
shower, $12. You
Right.
can spend $12 a shower a day.
No, yeah.
And you can wear the white short.
Right.
Be nice because it's shower, it's laundry and everything on it. Because I know that stuff. Been driving a truck for 5 years.
Sure.
Right? Know how to live outside. Know how to survive. Right. To not get in trouble and keep your nose clean. So while you're out there by yourself, people actually don't realize how much stuff you can meet overnight. How your life can change overnight when you live up in the open. So
What do you mean?
you meet some interesting characters.
Different people.
Yeah, you will meet some interesting characters.
I understand.
And, you can wake up and there's going to be a little sticker on your door, like offer you friendship.
Are
or
you
something.
like lot lizards and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Plus, you can buy all kinds of drugs and stuff.
I did that World of Outlaw sprint car racing deal for a lot of years, and we drove all over the country. I was a young boy, and we drove all over the country, and that was a big thing. We the lot lizards was a big thing around
So
that time.
if somebody don't know, they out here in Hickory.
They're everywhere, huh?
Yeah. It's not just the girls, all kind of stuff.
All
you can
kind of
find
stuff.
here,
So you're trying to win Rookie of the Year at Hickory.
yes. So we
That's your
start
goal
racing.
for this year.
Yeah, the first race, it was first 50 lapper, season opener, and I was last, starting last, not last, one before me, after me, Ben Campbell, 27 Mustang. I remember that day, and I'm always gonna remember it. On the second lap of the race, it was big pile up on the front stretch on the Victory Lane, just after Victory Lane. And I managed to stop because I was keeping distances first race.
Sure.
And I wasn't, you can't win the race
First lap.
First lap. So I'm like backing up. I'm just looking at everybody from behind, what they doing, trying to, fit with them, stay with them. They all pile up, and I was having enough distance, so I managed to stop. And unfortunately, a 27 car hit me so hard, knocked rear end out, bent the track bar, shocks, and knocked the fuel cell out, and it's all leaking. And I was just like, welcome. And a lot of people helped me, for real. Then I meet Larry Pollard.
LP.
Yeah, LP, all LP guy,
Guy's a legend.
Yeah, it is. And I knew I'm that close to the legend people,
Yeah.
So, and I never knew when I was going to. Everybody like, go to LP Gear. And I never knew it's Larry Pollard.
Sure.
And I read a lot about the histories and stuff. And I walk into his shop with the rear end, basically. And he changed the tube on it and just look what's inside. And I'm looking at all these pictures like,
yeah, he's the real deal. Holyfield, that guy.
43 car, and I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Because he's got a little bit older.
Right, sure.
And I'm looking at Richard Petty and Larry Pollard out there, all kinds of guys out there, and said, "Oh, you're really a fan?" I said, "I'm Larry Pollard." I was like, "What?" He said,
Yeah.
I'm Larry Pollard. I used to be his crew chief in 1989 or whatever.
Right.
Or whatever, some years, it doesn't remember now. And I was like, "Mister."
Yeah,
I
don't
was
think.
speechless. I said, "You know how many fans actually it's out there in Russia for you guys, what you did?" And I still have one guy, his name Renat, he's from Russia, and he's a fan of Richard Petty and Larry Pollard so much. He's buying toys on eBay.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff. I still got some stuff of the few consignment stores.
Yeah.
of the Richard Petty gloves.
I'm
or
all about the
whatever.
flip life. I'll sell anything. I'm all about the flip life.
All right.
It's good.
So I'm buying stuff for him,
There
not for
you
that guy,
go.
just to send him. So yeah, I start meeting nice people. So we fixed the car. It cost me $5,000 almost to fix the damn car after first race. And thanks God, it was a gap in like 2 weeks. Next race in
Sure.
2 weeks, like
Sure.
next weekend. So we was back on the track, and I'm trying to keep the car in the same piece and get more experience, and trying hard. And but also, I guess European school driving school a little bit different than here. Here is if you're not rubbing, you're not racing. But it's also depend how deep you can take this rubbing. When you're rubbing up to your fuel cell, it's not very
Right.
rubbing anymore.
Is that what you find what do you find to be the biggest challenge?
Here?
Yeah.
Behaviors,
you
different behaviors, people.
So it's the culture's different.
Yeah, not even the cultures, that hunger for win. I guess to me, it's not about all go and win. It is part.
Yeah, but you're
of it.
playing the long game.
Yeah.
You're not
So-
playing to win one race. I mean,
Yeah.
you'd like to win one race. That's not what I'm saying. But like, and anybody that will work dedicated for 6 years on something,
More than that.
right? I understand, but I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, just here, and it's a different level of commitment than somebody that just says, "Hey, we got to go to Hickory this weekend." You know what I mean?
Special. I'm a Russian guy from Moscow, and people in Moscow, some of the people in Moscow, announcers of the NASCAR live, big NASCAR like Cup Series, what goes live in Russia. They keep it up on the TV. They know me very well from that back time when I went, and I said I'm gonna get it.
Sure.
So we keep in touch for all these 10 years or 8 years, whatever. And they know I'm here. So I got a little bit more on the back of me, not just
Behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On it's like
Right.
always on my back, like.
And plus your sponsors too, right? Like I tell us you flew over
Yeah,
to Spain and you've been trying to do some different things, didn't you?
Yeah, the sponsors, of course, but also it's like whole Mama Russia behind me. Basically,
Yeah.
People watching who interested.
Sure.
And I can come and screw up big time, So I'm trying to get the much experience that I can of the limited late experience, the seat time, understanding, and of course I want to get that Rookie of the Year because to me it's gonna be a lot of.
I think racers
achievement.
I personally think that we're underestimating because we're kind of stuck in this little niche of North and South Carolina and Virginia and Tennessee. I think we forget that racing is global, and I think that Lee Falk has showed an interesting perspective in the fact that he's had a lot of foreign drivers, and
Yes.
I think that people from a sponsorship perspective are missing the boat a little bit because
Big time, not little bit, big time.
right, racing is a huge deal, and I think people that are from different ethnicities aren't leveraging what they should leverage. I told you that, right? Like I told you, you should go after the Russians for sure.
The thing about foreign people into racing, short track racing, or just NASCAR in general, I think it's gonna make it more interested for general public when people will agree in their mind. How to say that? It's not just local anymore.
Correct.
The NASCAR grows so much, and
Yes.
it's a lot of people watching it all over the place.
Yes.
We have people
Yes.
from Australia, Akinori from
Sure,
Japan,
sure.
Kosma Koss from Russia.
I think it's just taking longer to. I think it's taking longer to bed it in. Does that make sense? Like I think
Yeah.
it's finally starting to saturate, and I'm very interested if I'm interested to see how your deal plays out for the simple fact of will that win long? Will you be able to continue to generate more money from more Russian companies that want to continue to help you? Akinori has been able to sustain for 10 years, 11 years, whatever, right? Like a long time. He's been here. He was one of the originators in finding Enos. He was, he's found a lot of great companies, and he's leveraged the fact that many people aren't speaking the language or the communication of those people. So I'm interested is that you've found a little niche in there, finding some Russian guys that will help you
Who interested?
continue
Oh, I
on,
have.
are interested in the
Yeah.
sport and have something to gain from it. I'm interested to see
Right now,
how
they don't gain
others.
anything.
No,
Nope.
no branding, no nothing.
No, they have a little bit, but the main part, they proud of what they do.
They're proud of what they're doing.
Yeah, I can say that if many of local guys don't know, it's they have NASCAR wheel in Europe.
You're right. Right.
They have
Sure.
it just because they like it. This is how much. Still,
No, no, no. What do you mean? No, you're good.
so
Oh, me, I was itching myself, not you. It's
so
hot in here.
yeah.
I'm too cheap to afford air conditioning, so we got
So
to sit in here and
how
sweat.
much people like the NASCAR all over the world? They doing it out
Right.
there on their own. It's a little bit different car, and I actually think the Bubba Labonte racing out there.
Really.
Yeah, in some European series.
What do you want to see happen? Like you yourself. What so you're a complete, like I would say, I don't mean you're a complete outsider, but you have penetrated the group, but you were from completely at the outside, right? Like you didn't have any family that was into this or friends really. You made the friends as you kind of came through the deal. What what will be what's the biggest thing that you think you wish people inside the group would do better for you, right? Like everybody, another racer can't give you $5,000. He's trying to race himself. But what do you think he could do for you that would help you the best?
I'm getting so much help from everybody. For real, I can't complain. I mean, I'm everything. How to say that in the right word? I have so much support
So,
of people on the track.
but
Everybody want to help me. When they see me doing some progress, they will come up and shake my hand, and like
so you think that this is going the way that you think it's supposed to, meaning that if you ask people for help, you get help. If
not
you
necessary expectation always bigger, but you have to be cool off and think from a different perspective, like who you are and
Sure.
what you come with, and actually what you achieve already because of somebody helping you out.
Sure.
So in the big picture, of course, I want to be 1 year here, another year in ARCA, and then go to trucks on Xfinity Series, something like that, and understand how much money I need for all of it, and how much experience, and if not help of the people of the racetrack, basically of Hickory Motor Speedway, even Kevin Piercy, and the guys out there, just who can come and say, dude, you're doing good, keep digging.
Sure.
It's more than enough. I mean, I have my little budget, and I understand everybody in racing have their own piece what they rely on, so they cannot help you with anything.
Sure.
Some people help me with the practice tires. Same
Nice.
Lethal.
Lethal.
He's seeing me spinning
Isn't
out
it
during
interesting
the practice
that we keep bringing up the same people?
because they main guys out there.
Right.
Like story about Lethal this season. I was out there in May or April. Was practicing, have not enough tires, and just I'm going round by round. I mean, lap by lap, just trying to make it faster and faster. Just myself, nobody else. Oh, it was guy helped me out, just with being with me on the radio.
Sure.
And Lee seeing me spinning in one, spinning in three. And I was like, I'm two was going in, and it's just like my voice is finished in the late models, so I got
There you
the
go.
2 sets of tires. You can have them.
That's right. He's just
So-
a good guy.
Yeah, just like that.
Right.
And I was practicing on these 2 sets, another 3 or 4 practice. You know?
Right.
So
The interesting part, and I would like to say this, and he's been a very good mentor to me. He has been one of the guys that when nobody would buy anything from us in 2009 when I bought this company, nobody would buy anything, and Lee Falk did. There was 2 people that did. Ronald Fox was the guy's name. He was one. Travis Swaim drove for him. He bought cars for me, and Lee Falk, and everybody else left. And now it takes 14 weeks for him to get a car, right? But back then it didn't. So those couple of guys have a special place in my heart. They've always been very fair to me. I think they care less about money than they do the relationships that they get, which I think is very profound.
when the Mike Falk was helping me, it wasn't paid.
Right, at all. Right.
Yeah. I just come from Florida
Because he
on
liked
a little
you.
piece of
Right.
Japanese market. Also, it was like with the rusty hood. He's looking like, wow. I said, yeah, it is what it is. Trying to make it with
Nice.
what I have, and he's just spent a lot of time with me talking, making little
It's okay.
short movies, like short
Films
introduction
trying to
things.
help
Yeah.
you.
And he's actually named the person who I was doing it for. Like, basically, this is Ivan Borisovich. This is I'm making for you. This is Kosma Koss. This is our shop. This is what we're doing. This is the cars.
Nice.
This is how much money we need. Mike can say like, what I'm doing it for. It might not never work out.
Right.
Just go. He never turned his back to me. They was good guys, and I guess it's not just money for everybody.
No, right.
It's racing.
A lot of people, yes, it is, right? Like 90. I'm saying we've been trying to talk about it in the shop, and I think it's a 90-10 thing, right? Like, I think 10% of the people are playing for legacy, right? Like, it's not a money thing for them. Like, I really believe Philip Morris is playing for legacy. I don't think he cares. The guy's a legend. Right? Like, what has he got to prove? That he can win?
Yeah.
He can win any week.
Anyway.
Any week. In anybody's car.
I just watched his interview last
Yeah,
night.
in anybody's car. He's
Somebody's win. They was like all race together, and he said like, I just misled the setup,
Right.
and this guy just raced me and raced so clear and respect, and
Right.
I hope he's win.
That's what I'm saying. I think I find it interesting that guys like that, people give them such a bad rap, and what they don't understand is they're the anchors. I think Bubba Power gets a bad rap. I don't really want to get into that whole fighting in fisticuffs things, but I think
You racing.
them guys are
Everybody hot.
racing, right? Yeah,
Everybody hot, and I don't understand people who judging what's going on the racetrack. It's like when I have situation with somebody like a few months ago, the spotters was ready to kill each other out there. But after one day, everybody become decent person.
Happy again.
Because
Cool off.
they cool off, and everybody start seeing it from different perspective. And I come up to the pits to the guys, and I said, sorry, I knock your car during a race. And I'm apologize, but the thing is, don't do some stuff what he's doing to me. Just
Right,
to
sure.
explain. We talking, shake hands, and it's done, over and done with. But
What do you think the biggest thing you've done that's helped you find money?
never give up.
Never give up.
Just keep digging. No matter. Russians said, if you can't run to your target, walk. If you can't walk, just sit there. If you can't even sit, just lay, but look at the same direction.
Right.
So basically, everything I done all the time, keep talking about, keep looking for people, keep telling like how NASCAR, what is for me. When I done the first race, I got 500 plus text messages
Really?
on my Facebook, like Russian Facebook. And
Let's tell everybody what your Facebook, Instagram, and social media stuff is. Let's tell them so they can follow you. It's really an interesting follow. It really is. It's a good follow.
Right now, I'm trying to cover the Russian space because the money from Russia.
Sure.
And everybody who knows me from Russia. So
Right. He's doing double social media.
But you can translate. You just push the translate.
Right. Sure. What is it? How do they find you?
Kosma Kosma underscore Guznikov. It's on the Instagram, I believe so. Kosma Guznikov, that's simple. And Kosma Guznikov, how you can.
Right. KOSMA underscore GUZNYAKOV. You should check them out. It's pretty good stuff. I like to look at.
It's a story about how I live.
Oh, and now you're deaf.
Yeah. So how I live in my trailer. It's there.
Yeah.
And I still doing it proudly.
It's
Not
all,
because I'm trying to be cheap or something like it. I'm really short on budget for this year, but I don't want to miss any race. So
I just find that profound, right? Like so many people that come in here, they get mad about something that costs an extra $5 or $6, and this guy lives in his trailer, right? And is happy with doing all that he can do. He comes in the shop often. He asks a lot of questions. He's trying to do things to better, and
thank you, man.
I think that you're a role model definitely for a lot of people. That I'm the interesting part for me is I wanted you to be the first one that I had on here for the simple fact of I think you represent what this needs to do. It's not about the short-term win. It's about the fact that you're looking to a goal that may be 10 years off, but you're willing to put in 5 or 6 or 7 years worth of work or 8 years worth of work. And you know what? It might not happen. It might not happen. But you're not going to stop trying until it either happens or you realize you did everything you can do to do it. And I wish more people had that.
I want to say to all guys, internationally or here locally in States, I'm 39 years old. I will be 40 next year. I'm eating one time a day.
One time a day.
Yeah, just to keep 150. I mean, I can grow up to 200 pounds very quick. I know that. I've been driving a truck. I'm like swelling and go down.
That's awesome.
So diet, dedication to what you're doing, and never give up. And if you really want to do it, it will come to you. But again, that book secret, whatever everybody
Yeah,
is
sure.
fascinated by.
Sure.
I'm not really into it. I can say it from my experience. Never give up. It's gonna get to the point. The first sponsorship I got after 6 months of quiet, the phone was ringing. I pick up the phone and say, "Excuse me, this is Kosma." I said, "Yeah. Do you still looking for some money?"
Yeah.
This is how I got with the Chris Lafferty. After 6 months of nothing, somebody called me.
On social. Were you putting content on social still?
No, I was looking in Russia. I got done trip to Russia, and I was running around businesses trying to find sponsors.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, and I got back with nothing.
Nothing.
6 months later, somebody called me. You still looking for money?
Really?
Yeah.
But you laid the groundwork 6 months before.
Yeah.
And in hand-to-hand combat.
I was on 95. Still remember that day in South Carolina. 95 was hitting down Florida. I have to stop on the rest area to talk to people. I was shaking.
Right.
They said, we're going to give you like whatever, $10,000 so you can make, or $7,000 so you can buy your gear and provide us information what you done. And
That's
it's
amazing.
like, damn.
That's amazing.
And we did it that back then with the Chris Lafferty. This how I mean, the things will happen to you. Just not give up. Just guys, if you have a trailer to live in,
live in it.
Live in it.
Work on your stuff.
You can be clean, take shower and truck stuff.
Right.
Eat one time a day if you want to, whatever you do. But I'm doing it for a reason so I can stay fit and looks okay. Because I can get fat.
Wow.
Quick. So now it's main target to finish the season. That's why I'm still in my trailer. I still have offers from my friends who I know right now. Of course, you can stay with us. We can give you the motorhome. We can give you. Said, you know what? I talked to my sponsor for the next year. I have a sponsor for the next year. Back to
for next year.
Yeah.
You have a sponsor for next year. Okay.
Back to trip to Barcelona.
Great.
I meet some people and they're really on board. I mean, they proud of what they do. Thanks a lot.
This is existing people or people that are new.
Existing people.
Existing people.
But they never. It was lost people. What I will think about. They will.
So what do you do for your existing customer? How do you keep them? Your existing sponsor. What do you do for them?
I don't do anything for them. I do what every racer who's sponsored should do. Basically, maximum pictures of the track, what I can buy of the sharing externs, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking interesting videos if it was okay race.
Okay.
I'm taking pictures. I have people in Russia who helped me to create the news and posts on Instagram and stuff. And just be maximum public.
Yeah.
And probably where
create attention.
Yeah.
Create attention.
In a good way.
In a good way. Yeah, but you know what? I mean,
some people creating it's not
yeah, but a lot of people will say, which my good friend Langley Austin says it often, right? Like all attention is good attention, which I don't know that to be exactly true, but he does a good job. So, well, man, I appreciate you being on episode 1. This was gonna be.
It was pleasure, man.
It's gonna be something that we're gonna do quite a bit. We're
maybe for the next year one time because right now we're looking to race the to race the late models full season Hickory Motor Speedway again.
Nice.
And see what it's gonna be like. Buying better car, better motor, and
start over. Yeah.
Run with the big guys.
That'll be great. I can't wait to see that.
I want to try the late model.
Yeah.
I seeing how close they go, how fast they go. They plus second and a half what we do.
Yeah.
My best time so far is like 15.8, and I cannot maintain that speed because I can't dial the car right way. I guess. I mean, a lot of people help me, but it's still off the middle of the race.
Gotta keep working on it.
I'm getting a little bit pushed.
That's right. You get a new car that'll turn better. You'd be all right.
selling car.
We sell them here.
Selling the car.
Always a salesman.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate
I
you.
appreciate the invitation.
We'll do it again. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Hey, we're gonna try to do this as a daily show. We're gonna try to interview people that come in to Performance Center. We get quite a few people in and out of here. Maybe they can give you some interesting content like Koss did today. Reach out to them, check them out on social. If you're at the track and you see them, go ahead and give them a hello. Shout out to Zach McDaniels in the back. He's just been working the whole time. He don't even care. So thank you guys, and see you later.
Thank you.